Dark of All Trades presents Professor Dark Explains Logical Fallacies. The fallacy of composition/division. The fallacy of composition and its counterpart, the fallacy of division, occurs when one incorrectly assumes that what is true for the parts of a whole thing must also be true for the whole thing, or vice versa. In a more formal structure, it looks something like this. A is part of B. A has property X, therefore B has property X. For example, a brick weighs 5 pounds. That house is made of brick. Therefore, that house weighs 5 pounds. For division, it's the same with one minor switch. A is part of B. B has property X. Therefore, A has property X. Using the brick house example, a brick house weighs 100,000 pounds. That house is made of bricks. Therefore, each brick in that house weighs 100,000 pounds. Some examples. Each member of the sports team is skilled, therefore the entire team will be successful. Teamwork involves more than just individual skills, and the collective dynamics can affect outcomes. Conversely, this team is successful overall, therefore every player on the team must also be individually talented. In sports teams, the success of the team often depends on a combination of individual skills, team dynamics, coaching strategies, and other factors. If each citizen in a country is prosperous, the entire nation will be prosperous. Economic disparities and systemic issues can still exist on a larger scale despite individual prosperity. Conversely, the country has a high income per capita, then every individual in that country must also have a high income. In reality, income distribution within a country can vary widely, with some individuals earning significantly less than the average. Everyone who works here is rich, therefore the company must be doing well. Individual wealth among employees does not necessarily indicate the overall financial health or success of the company as a whole. Conversely, because the company is profitable, every employee must be well compensated. In reality, compensation and job satisfaction can vary greatly among employees within the same company, depending on factors such as job role, experience, and negotiation skills. An example from apologetics. In apologetics, a common example is the assumption that because some or many of the individual believers experience personal spiritual fulfillment, the entire religion must be true or valid. However, this overlooks the diversity of religious beliefs and the subjective nature of personal experiences. In a syllogism, this argument looks like this. Premise 1. Individual believers within my religion experience personal spiritual fulfillment. Premise 2. Personal spiritual fulfillment is indicative of the truth or validity of the religion. Conclusion, therefore, my entire religion must be true or valid. The fallacy arises when one assumes that because individual believers within a religion experience personal spiritual fulfillment, the entire religion must be true or valid. This inference mistakenly attributes the qualities of individual believers to the religion as a whole, either by assuming that what is true for the parts, the individual believers, must also be true for the whole religion, or by assuming that characteristics of the whole, the religion, must necessarily apply to its parts, the individual believers. This overlooks the complexity and diversity within religious systems, as well as the potential for discrepancies between individual experiences and broader religious doctrines. Therefore, the fallacy of composition or division occurs when the attributes or qualities of individuals are improperly attributed to the entirety of a religious system, leading to unwarranted conclusions about its truth or validity. Dealing with the fallacy. When encountering someone committing the fallacy of composition or division, it is essential to point out the error in their reasoning. Encourage them to consider the complexities and nuances involved, pointing out that what may hold true for parts of a system may not necessarily hold true for the whole. Offer alternative perspectives or evidence to challenge their assumptions and broaden their understanding. When it might not be a fallacy. In certain contexts, the fallacy of composition or division may not apply. For instance, in mathematics or certain scientific principles, properties of individual elements often do extend to the whole system. For example, in ecology, properties of individual organisms within a population, such as birth rates, death rates, and genetic traits, can influence the dynamics of the entire population. For example, if individual members of a population have high reproductive rates, the population as a whole may experience rapid growth. However, it's crucial to assess each situation carefully to determine whether the fallacy is present. By recognizing and understanding the fallacy of composition and division, we can sharpen our critical thinking skills and avoid making unwarranted assumptions about wholes based on their parts, or vice versa. Any questions?